Hey beauties, it's Ty and welcome back to Ty Fitness. I just wanted to do a short video today because I want to introduce you to 5 things that I currently have in my diet on a consistent basis. This is part of my clean eating regimen, and as you know in my last video I stated that clean eating was one of the ways that I reduce my midsection fat, including my belly and my back, and also with an increase of cardio activity. My current cardio activity is running. But also, as I stated, if running is not for you, to do another activity such as Zumba or basketball, tennis, swimming, anything that's going to increase your cardiac level, do that. But for me, it's going to be running. And again, I wanted to introduce you to 5 things that I currently have in my diet that I eat very frequently, if not almost every day. So the first thing that I have a lot of people asking about is the spaghetti squash. So this is the spaghetti squash here. This is a little one I actually got from Walmart. I usually get it from the fruit market, and when I do, it's much bigger than this. But I'd say this is about $2.50. There's 2 ways that you can actually cook this. I specifically roast the whole thing. I'll put it on a cookie sheet. I'll roast it for about this size, I would say about 45 minutes or so. Once it's soft and kind of browned on the outside, because I turn it at least once, I will cut it at the equator, which is this way. Scoop out the seeds and membrane, and then you can fork out the squash. It's going to look kind of like angel hair pasta, but it's going to be kind of condensed together. I then rinse it in water and then coat it with extra virgin olive oil and pepper. And the other way that you can make it is actually by cutting it beforehand. You will cut it lengthwise like this. Season the inside like you want, place it face down on the sheet, and then roast it that way. And then also, just to let you know, if you're going to roast this whole, make sure you punch the holes in it all over for venting with the fork, because you don't want it to explode on you. So this again is a spaghetti squash. I eat that basically almost every day. It's really good. It's also calorie dense. So for a half a cup of this squash, you're looking at about 30, I believe, calories and about 10 carbs. So it's very good for you. Also in the squash family that I'm doing is the yellow zucchini squash. These are also very calorie dense, as you can see. And these also come in the green squash too. They're both, the same, different, a little different in flavor. But I basically will peel these, slice them, and then roast them in the oven with my seasoning. You don't have to peel these. You can leave it with the skin on. Either way, you can roast them. And actually, I haven't yet, but I will be incorporating this in a soup of mine coming up. So please stay tuned for that, because I do make my own soup every week, and this is something that I'll be using for it. Also, another thing that I've recently purchased, but I have not made as of yet, this here, it's a butternut squash. And I've been looking at different ways to make this. I've had people actually prefer this for me, saying that I'll probably like it based upon the other things that I eat. So I've looked at a lot of ways to make this. I think I'm going to caramelize it in the crock pot. So that's something I'll be doing very soon, and I'll let you know how that turns out for me. Another thing that I eat very frequently are sweet potatoes. These are a little bit better than regular potatoes. It's a good complex carb for you. Actually, I'm thinking about roasting this with the butternut squash, also with apples. So previously I've made a apple and sweet potato stuffing, and it turned out very well. So I'm thinking that if I do, and I also made a caramelized apple and sweet potato mix. So I'm thinking if I add the squash, that'll give it a little bit of a different flavor. So I'll keep you all posted on that. But again, these are sweet potatoes. Different ways you can make these. I mean, you can peel them, slice them, and you can caramelize them, you can roast them, you can whip them up and mash them. So I love sweet potatoes. Just anything that you can do with a regular potato, you can also do with a sweet potato. And again, it's a complex carb. It's really good for you. And for me, it satisfies my sweet craving because I don't have a lot of fruits or sweets in my diet. So what I will do is I will make that, and I'll add nutmeg, cinnamon, brown sugar, sometimes raw cane sugar, and that's how I will season it to give it a sweeter taste. So it's very good. It is it's something that, again, that I use just to satisfy a sweet craving. That's something that I also eat almost every day. Now, another thing that I highly recommend are legumes, and these are two of my favorite: red and black beans. These are actually from Whole Foods. They're part of the 365 line, and I actually put this in my soup. So every week when I do make my soup, these are in it, no questions asked. And the reason why is because beans are very good when it comes to protein and fiber. Like specifically the black beans, they have 11 grams of 11 grams of protein per serving, and then they have 12 grams of fiber. And then these are the red beans, and they have 10 grams of protein and 7 grams of fiber per serving. So each of these are very good when it comes to protein and fiber. And those are two things that I like to have high in my diet, because the fiber will keep you regulated and then the protein will help keep you fuller longer. So those are things that I make sure that I eat almost every day. Now, another thing for me specifically, I love hot and spicy foods, and I started purchasing these a few weeks ago. These are hot peppers. I put them in almost anything. The thing with these peppers is make sure you deseed them. I do cut them like lengthwise, like this, all the way down, and just pop out the middle where the seeds is at. And then that way, because these are hot enough by themselves without seeds, but if you want it on like fire 10, leave the seeds in there. I've done it. It's very hot to the point where I'm sweating as I'm eating because it is really hot. But this is something that I put in almost everything. If you like spicy hot food, I suggest that you use these. These are really good, low in calories, and they provide great flavor. And then the last thing I'm going to show you here, very simple, tomatoes. I love tomatoes because, one, I make my own tomato sauce, and basically like a marinara or spaghetti sauce. I make them using these tomatoes. And if you're on my Facebook, which is facebook.com/Thai Fitness, there's a recipe on there to make homemade marinara that uses tomatoes. And then also this week, what I've done new with the tomatoes is I've actually cut them in half and hollowed them a little bit, and I stuffed them. I actually stuffed them with tuna. So I'm going to be experimenting with the things that I can stuff them with, because the tuna inside of here was really good, and that's a recipe that I plan to have up on my site soon. Actually this weekend, or actually prior to the weekend, probably Thursday night or Friday, I'm going to be re-releasing the site with some additional upgrades, so you can go ahead and visit mythaifitness.com. I do have a few things on there, but I want to make it more interactive for you, beauty, so you can get recipes, you can get tips, you can get, an interactive forum going for questions that you want to ask. So things like that are in the works for the site. So again, the recipe for tomatoes will be on there soon, and then I am going to keep experimenting with things that I can stuff them with. Also, I wanted to show you really quickly, I got this at Family Dollar. I love this thing. It's a little crock pot. It was $10. I just seen it as I was checking out. And for me, I have a larger crock pot, but sometimes I find I want to make two things at once, which I can't do, obviously. So that is something that I'm going to use if I want to just use vegetables or caramelize something, make a small pot of soup, or maybe I just don't want to use the big crock pot. I can use that one. Again, I got it at Family Dollar. It's about $10. Really good buy for me anyway, and it's a space saver, so I like things like that, so I wanted to share it with you. So again, those are a few of the things that I currently have in my clean eating regimen. You want to make sure that you're getting fresh fruits, fresh vegetables, beans, nuts, um, leafy green foods. Those are the kind of things you want. You want lean meats, no fatty cuts. I use only ground turkey. I use chicken breasts. I eat a lot of fish. Those are things that I have in my diet every day. So again, with clean eating, those are the things that you also want to incorporate as well. So hopefully you found some of this information valuable. If you have any additional questions about clean eating, please be sure to leave me a comment. If you want to see anything else on my site, again, it's mythaifitness.com. I promise you that I am getting to all the emails. I had more than I imagined. I greatly appreciate the support, but I'm just finishing finals. I do also work full time, so I'm getting to those. And also, if you want me to add anything on the site, let me know so I can incorporate it. Any other questions about clean eating, let me know so I can try to answer it in the video. So again, thank you so much for coming by. I appreciate you. I love you all. Check me out on Instagram, which is Thai Fitness, on MyFitnessPal, which is emancipated underscore Thai, on Twitter, Thai underscore fitness, and my Facebook page, which is facebook.com/Thai fitness, and then also my personal site, which is mythaifitness.com. So bye beauties, love you so much.